Hello, everybody. My name is Samantha, and I did my presentation on fentanyl. Before we get into what the drug is, here is a brief history. It was created in 1960 by the Paul Jensen and the Jensen Pharmaceutical Company, located in Belgium. And it wasn't until 1968 that it was approved in the United States for medical use. However, by the mid 1970s, we saw a large spread of illicit fentanyl usage that has carried well into our present day. From the mid 1990s to the late 2010s, we saw numerous different brands come out with different administrations of the drug, including the Durasec patch, the Atik lollipop or lozenge, and the Analis, which is a topical gel. In 2017, the Department of Health declared a public health emergency regarding our opioid epidemic. And in 2018, the FDA deemed illegal fentanyl a Schedule 1 drug. So, what is it? What is fentanyl? It's a synthetic opioid that is similar to morphine with a much higher potency, meaning it's more toxic. It's usually or should be used per prescription to treat severe and serious pain in patients, typically after surgery or those with a chronic illness. Illegal fentanyl is actually now the most common drug involved in drug overdoses. And an important fact, naloxone can be administered to reverse a fentanyl overdose. However, multiple doses may be necessary depending on how much the person ingested. So, what does it do to our bodies, our minds? Fentanyl works by binding with the brain's opioid receptors, which are centers of the brain that control our pain and emotion. And effects of fentanyl can include some extreme happiness, drowsiness, sedation, and even confusion. Fentanyl is known to be highly addictive due to its potency, and those taking fentanyl, even with a doctor's prescription, can experience drug dependency and even drug addiction. The illicit production or illegal production. Because fentanyl is a synthetic drug, meaning it's man-made, it's widely become popular for street vendors, or dealers, I should say, to illegally make and sell this drug. The DEA has actually classified fentanyl as a powerful narcotic that is closely related to our current opioid epidemic. These street dealers often either sell pure forms of fentanyl as another substance or mix it in with heroin and other substances and sell it to their clients as a pure form of whatever substance they're looking for, such as heroin. Fentanyl is much less expensive to manufacture or purchase in bulk compared to other street drugs, which is what makes it such a large profit margin for these dealers. This figure right here is a visual representation of the difference between heroin and fentanyl in its powder form. So you can see they're very similar. The illicit use. Many individuals who abuse fentanyl often enjoy that heroin-like effect it offers. Other times, individuals believe they're using a pure form of heroin or other substance and inject similar amounts. However, fentanyl is about 50 to 100 times more potent than heroin, so this often leads to overdose and, unfortunately, fatality. Illegal fentanyl is usually in the form of a white powder and like the prescribed prescriptions or patches or lozenges, and this powder can be inhaled, injected, or used as blotter paper in the mouth. Fentanyl is often mislabeled in tablet form as oxytocin and hydrocodone, and traces have also been found in cocaine and methamphetamines. This figure right here shows the difference in dose amounts that elicit a response in our body. You can see fentanyl is much less than heroin. A few overdose statistics. Overdoses that involve synthetic opioids such as fentanyl have increased by 16% from the years 2018 to 2019. And in 2019, 36,000 individuals lost their life to an opioid overdose. And a lot of researchers and professionals are expecting an even larger increase in opioid overdoses due to the 2020 pandemic. So what is our public education system doing about this? Many states are actually including a curriculum that teaches students about opioid misuse in addition to their current drug and alcohol prevention workshops. In addition to this, many schools have approved the use of naloxone in order to reverse any opioid overdoses that may occur on school. And some not so fun facts right over here are a few celebrities who are known to have died from an opioid overdose that their toxicology reports actually came back with traces of fentanyl. We have Prince in 2016, Lil Peep in November of 2017, and Mac Miller of September 2018. And with all of this being said, this actually concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening, and I hope you all learned something.